Okay. Okay, we are now live. Welcome everyone this morning. This is a follow-up to our emergency meeting that we had to be called off the floor yesterday during session because we had one of the House committees chair call us and let us know that there was a bill that was presented by Senator Cassidy over in the Senate, which passed unanimously and sent over during crossover. So the problem is E&T, the situation is E&T will not give the senator a hearing until the delegation votes on this particular bill. Due to the fact that it strictly deals with Harford County. So that was the reason why we had to come off the floor yesterday. According to council, we can come on today to actually discuss it because we've never heard anything about this particular bill. So we will actually be discussing, it's SB 642, not a cross file. So this is the first time. We do have Senator Cassidy is unavailable this morning. We have his chief of staff, Genevieve Foley, with us to answer any of our questions. I'm going to give her just a few minutes to describe the bill to us, and then we will take questions. I do see we already have delegates, and Larry has a question. So is that plan good for you, Delegate and Palaria? Okay.
Yes,
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Just
Alrighty.
wondering who else is here besides Genevieve? Are we hearing anything from the county council? Are we hearing anything from the county executive?
Okay, we'll
And
start
have you
with.
gotten any of that information?
Okay, I've made a few phone calls myself, but we'll let Ms. Foley speak first, and then we'll have our questions.
Okay, so this bill was actually brought to us by Councilman Curtis Beulah from the County Council. It was tailored to everything that's going on with the Perryman Peninsula. It's to install vehicle height monitoring systems near that area to deter tractor trailers from cutting through residential areas to avoid traffic on the highways. Originally in the bill, we did have set roads in the Perryman Peninsula, but we actually had the motor truck company come to us and say, you know, why don't you do it like Baltimore County did? You create this work group and then they identify the correct roads to put these vehicle height monitoring systems on, just in case there's one that we missed. And it doesn't, I know Delegate Johnson put something on Facebook and everything. If you read the bill, it does not deal with speed monitoring or anything. It's simply truck height monitoring. It's going to go like specifically like on, I can't pronounce the road, Spasuta Road.
Spasutia.
Okay, that road.
That road.
And it's just to catch tractor trailers that are cutting through these residential areas. We had a couple people come from these areas and testify in favor of it because there's these tractor trailers that are just cutting through, speeding through. You know, you have to worry about kids out in the road and everything, and other people driving because they're narrow roads. They're not highway 2-lane roads. And Baltimore County has done this, and we are literally just copying what they did. We've heard from them that, you know, it's worked great in their areas that they identified. So we do have the support of the county council, at least Councilman Beulah. No one else has said anything. We didn't have any opposition in the hearing. So questions?
Hey, one moment. We're going to do this in an orderly manner. First, Cindy. I believe Caroline, I'm assuming this is the number. She says she's been kicked out of the Zoom. So can you please admit her back in?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you, Jenna. We appreciate that. We do have Delegate and Palaria was first. So Delegate and Palaria, ask your question.
Okay, well, I'm very familiar with Spasutia Road. I owned a house on Spasutia Road. There's businesses on that road. There is a VFW on that road, and it is a wide road. It's a main road with yellow lines down the center of it. There's only two ways into Perryman. That would be Spasutia Road and would also be Perryman Road. So anybody hauling any kind of heavy equipment that uses Pashutia Road will now be open to these tickets and having to pay fines, even if they're doing a short distance haul, because they really are speed monitoring. Even though they're not, they are. And so now you have an area that's limited to only 2 entrances into it, one being Pashutia Road, which is a wide road, is a main road, and no children should be out playing on Pashutia Road. If they're playing on Pashutia Road, they might as well be playing out on Route 40. So unfortunately, we haven't heard a whole lot about this bill until now at the end of the session. And I haven't heard of anybody being killed on Pashutia Road as long as I've been there. So, you know, there's other ways to handle it. They can put the police on the road, and there can be limits to the type of vehicles that can drive down the road. There can be weight limits, but you know, right now the height limit doesn't make any sense because of heavy equipment being brought down that road for use on that road.
Okay, I do see, before we continue, I do see Senator Castley is now with us. Thank you. Would you like to say a few words before we start the rest of the questions?
Sure. Thank you. Real quick. Appreciate seeing you all this morning. So the bill really comes about with issues on Perryman Peninsula where you have roads that are restricted, no trucks allowed, nothing over 3/4 ton, but are routinely violated by very large 18-wheelers. You know, the other way to approach it would be to pay a law enforcement officer big bucks to sit out there and try to tag trucks, but that's something that Sheriff Gaylor has no interest in doing. That's a waste of, which I completely support, because it makes no sense to put a high-paid law enforcement officer. This is the way that it works is it takes a picture. Certain trucks obviously would be allowed in, Amazon and all those, you have to review each ticket and see who it is. But it's really the only way to enforce this stuff. And what's happening is, because these residential roads are convenient cut-throughs for the trucks to avoid the state highways, they're blasting through these little residential neighborhoods and just destroying them. I mean, it totally ruins their entire lives. So it's enabling statute. County council would have to approve each placement of these. It's not like a speed camera where people kind of get snuck up on it. It's not a red light camera. This is hey, you weren't even allowed on that road at all. You weren't supposed to be on that road. We had a big sign that said, don't come through this way. And you're coming through this way. So I think it's the only practical way to address the issue. I think you're going to see the council using these things rarely. There's not that many locations in the county where it's convenient to cut through a residential street. And it's not just any it's a street that has already been posted as no trucks. So appreciate your look at this point.
Thank you for the answer, Senator Cassidy. And if that's the case, then why shouldn't it just be a countywide bill? Because we're getting a lot of these complaints about 165, and we're getting these complaints about Jarrettsville up that way. We're getting them all over the place.
Yeah,
and so we're setting up a dangerous precedent that you're going to be going to county council meetings if you come meetings of communities, and they're going to be demanding these things everywhere.
Yeah.
So a truck coming out of PA will have to go down 83, come down the Beltway, go up 95, rather than these roads, which are state roads. They're not county roads, they're state roads. And Pashutia Road is a state road. It's not a county road. So that's my thought on it. Right. I mean, if we're going to do this, let's do it everywhere.
Yeah, Delegate Clary, he knows your question. Thanks.
So it is a countywide bill. The idea came from Perryman Peninsula, but this doesn't. The law doesn't specifically relate to. I mean, originally it did, but the amended bill does not relate specifically to Perryman. It's an enabling statute that gives the county council the authority to say, "Hey, this road is already posted. No trucks through, no trucks allowed," and we'll go ahead. And the county obviously would have to pay for it, and they have to pay for installing these devices. So it can be done anywhere. Obviously, if it's a state highway, then you'd have to get state highway permission. County can do it on a county road, but they'd have to get state permission if you're going to screw with a state highway. I'm not aware of any. There's not many state highways that don't allow through trucks. So
okay, I'm
thank you. All right, Delegate Clary, we're going to have to move on.
Responded, this is the first that we've been told that this was a countywide bill that you just said now. We were told this was strictly for the Perryman Peninsula.
Well-
So thank you for
We
clearing
said it
that
was
up.
Harford County. That's why we have to have the vote on it. We said Harford County. It is a
No,
county.
it doesn't matter if it's Harford
Okay.
County or
Okay.
Perry, we still have to vote.
Thank
on
you,
it.
Delegate and Flair. I'm going to move on to Delegate McComas.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll make this brief. I think that there's been a number of meetings. The public's come out in droves. They're very concerned about the quality of life on the Perryman Peninsula. I've never had the privilege or the opportunity to represent that area, but quite honestly, I think originally it was a very rural farming area, and I think they had a lot of canneries in that area, and I think it was tomatoes, which I love tomatoes, but the bottom line is I think we've got to do this. I mean, you know, people live in Harford County for the quality of life and the safety and the community, and to allow to not pass this, I think is legislative negligence. So I'm in favor of it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Delegate McComas. We're going to move to Delegate Griffith.
Thank you. And very briefly again, you know, I grew up in that area. I work right there at Water's Edge right now. You know, I have friends that live back there. I drive back down there and drive back towards Gabler Shore on a regular basis, at least once a week. I've seen the impacts there. This is just another tool and tool belt for the county council to try to address this issue and take care of those good folks down there that are overwhelmed with the traffic and potentially more traffic to come. So I think this is important legislation. I plan to support it.
Okay, thank you, Delegate Griffith. I'm going to move to Delegate Lasanti.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And Senator, I'm glad to see you today. Where'd he go? I want to add some questions for the senator.
Jenna, does he have to, can he stay for a moment or no?
He had to step out.
Okay, well.
Oh, he's right
all
here. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, because we just have one more hand up, so maybe he could stick around.
Yeah, I'm listening. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Hey there, Senator. Thank you very much. And look, you and I represent Perryman. Delegate Johnson had an appointment this morning. He couldn't make it. He lives in Perryman. You know, that's my family's ancestral home. My mom was born and raised in Perryman. So this is very important to us. A couple of things that I think that we really need to focus on. Number one, height of trucks is important, but also speed is important and the volume is important. So I would like to see some amendments on this bill that monitors that as well, because that is the trilogy of tools that are needed down there. That's the immediate issue. I think it's really important. I'm glad to see that Councilman Beulah has worked with you on this, but we need the buy-in of the entire county council, and I hope they do that. I think there's a way to also approach the long-term piece of this. I've sent to this delegation and to all of our senators a request to put these roads in our transportation priorities. And, you know, these will be, whether these are funded with the county and with the partnership of the state, they all intersect state roads. So these need to be part of our priority list as well. So, you know, I want to do everything we can, but I want a multi-pronged approach to this problem.
So this bill is modeled after Baltimore County. These are all different, you know, height, speed, volume. Those are all different machines. So this one specifically addresses the height issue. It's what's being done in other counties.
I understand, but we could put up for Harford County and give that authority now, couldn't we? I mean,
yeah, that's a to me that's a different bill for a different year. I don't want to tie this one down with such a radical change.
I saw him last night. I told him you were
Delegate Schlega.
contacting him. He's
Delegate
like,
Schlega.
"We'll take care of you."
Cindy, can you just, yes, thank you. Okay, sorry.
I mean, as the way your bill was drafted, if I look on where you actually called out pages in front of me, the action in the bill where you tried to make the specific to Harford County and call out those roads, it's that same section, and you just call out the three main components of height, of speed monitoring, and traffic control, because they are allowable under the statute that you've opened.
Well, to my knowledge, the speed cameras require everyone requires the delegation's approval. That's how we do it in all the other counties and out
Well,
the state.
we're sitting here in front of the delegation getting approval for your bill.
Yeah,
So this is
but
the
what
time
he's
to do
saying is
that.
that
For each-
that's a separate,
Yeah, for each camera, people
Yeah.
put in speed camera bills and they go through your local delegation for, sometimes it's one, usually it's just one speed camera in the case, and over here on our side, the Route Boulevard, we approve every individual speed camera. So the local delegation and we often don't consider them local bills because frequently those are for state highways that we all use through other
Okay.
counties. So they're
Well,
not.
if you're
Height
not able
monitoring
to
bill is
amend
truly
this
Just a
bill,
local bill on the local roads.
okay,
But the speed cameras would be a different bill, the way we've been doing them in JPR. It would be sort of a radical change to say, well, now we're going to put speed in with height. And then
Okay.
volume, of course, is just your standard. You put the tube on the road to monitor the volume. So that doesn't even require a law at all.
Okay.
They can-
if that's the case and you think that that should be in another bill, my direct
Yeah.
question to you is, will you support the transportation priorities?
Which ones? The
The ones that I have sent to your office and to the entire Harford County Senate delegation
So
and council delegation for the specific
Yeah, so-
intersections on the Perryman Peninsula.
Point of privilege, please.
yes, Delegate Griffith,
Sorry, this is not on the current bill.
thank you.
Delegate Griffith, this is on the subject of the bill. The subject of the bill, as the senator presented, is to control traffic on the Perryman Peninsula. That specific issue is on the Perryman Peninsula. This
Okay.
is certainly
Okay,
not.
Delegate Lasanti, the CTP was discussed. You were given 2 separate deadlines to get that information out.
No. That's not
Well,
correct.
Hold on.
That is
And
not
we
correct.
did actually consider one of your issues that you sent
we?
one time.
Who's
uh,
we?
Senator Castley and Larry Richardson and myself.
But the entire
um,
delegation has not discussed it.
No, because you sent one thing and I had mentioned to you that we were meeting and.
The primary letter is
Senator-
what was on time,
Senator
Delegate Riley. Let's be
Castley.
clear.
No,
Yes, it was. You had not signed that letter when I sent that. What
Yes,
you
I
are
went around
discussing is what I sent you last night, which
Yes,
was
they had
a
it.
typo that Aberdeen
we will talk
requested.
offline, but you
Let's
are
be clear.
incorrect.
Well, don't
And I
do
know
not.
that Mr. Richardson is going to speak with you, have a meeting today, explain to what
But you
we
signed the
discussed
letter
in the
without
meeting.
bringing that before the delegation. That's
the
my point.
delegation had it. Everyone
And
received
did
it.
not vote on it in
We
public.
did not, but we voted on
Correct.
actually me signing the bill, which I got 7.
Okay, as long as we're clear that the
Thank you.
Senate and the House has rejected that without discussing it at delegation. That's all I needed to know. Thank you.
And now we have Delegate Shalega.
Thanks. Genevieve, Jen, do you know if, and I'm sure you can answer this for Senator Castley, did you guys address the Maryland Motor Truck Association amendment? So they said.
That is our amendment. Yes, that's.
Okay, all right, so
the bill
that's
is
taken
now.
care of. Perfect, thank you.
Okay, do I see any other questions on SB 642? I do not. Oh, I do have Delegate Johnson had a few questions. Caroline, would you like to ask those questions for Delegate Johnson?
Mhm.
Please take yourself off mute.
Most of them have already been answered, but he wanted to know if, with the height cameras, if the bill specifically stated Spusia Road, but I believe that was already been answered and it's a countywide bill that any of the county roads that have the signs, no truck signs, can do this.
Right, so that's why it looked like it was amended that those 2 roads were taken out of the bill, but that's not the case. They're within the bill, can be done in any of our roads in the county, obviously as enabling legislation. I did have a question. So we know that this particular road is already restricted, if I'm correct, if that's what I'm hearing. It's already restricted to 3/4 ton or something, or some kind of tonnage. So it has signage. Would this bill, would it enable the council to do it on a road that doesn't already currently have a sign of restriction, or do you have to go through that process first? Does anybody? Okay,
To go
Delegate
through that
Asante.
process first.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
it
it
has
has to have the signs.
You have
Okay,
to-
so it would have to be restricted first and then with signs for a certain period, and then they go back and study it again. And if it's still an issue, okay, so it's pretty restricted, okay. And so Delegate Johnson had no other questions there?
No.
Okay, all righty, and I don't see any other hands, so how would we like to proceed? Do I have
I just was,
Delegate
Move
Asante?
favorable.
No,
Oh, Delegate
I'll go to
Asante
wait till
did have her
discussion.
hand up. I'm sorry.
I'll wait till
Okay.
discussion.
Okay, thank you. So I have a first to move the bill. Is that what you said? All right, I have a second.
Who was the first,
Now
please?
discussion. The first was Delegate Arcan. Second was
Second.
Delegate Shalega. And now we're in discussion on the motion to move favorable and Delegate Lasante.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair and members of the delegation. I just want to be very clear for the record. This is enabling legislation. What this then, so this doesn't stop trucks today, tomorrow, doesn't stop them for several months. If this bill would pass and be signed into law, which would probably be July, I didn't look at the actual date, then the county council has to take this issue up and determine where it would be, and then deploy they'd have to budget put in their budget that is already done at this point. So they're going to have to do a budget amendment if they want to use this in the Perryman area. And they're going to have to get approval from the county executive and the county council to deploy this. So we are looking at, this is not going to be enacted and be on the streets of Perryman or wherever in the county that this problem exists for probably at the bare minimum till the early fall. That would be the fastest this would be implemented. So I just want to be very clear that this is a long process. It is a step in the right direction. I'll be supporting the bill, but it is strictly for height of trucks, and there is a process to get there. So
Thank you, Delegate Lasante. Great comments. Thank you very much. We have Delegate Arcan, sorry.
Oh, no, it's Archon. You're
I go
right.
back and forth.
I used to say it wrong myself. So, I just want to make sure that Delegate Lasante wasn't suggesting we make this emergency legislation. Because I would be fine with that if that's what she would like to do, so that it would go into effect faster.
Okay.
I'm not sure she's listening, but I'm okay with that.
I am Delegate, and thank you for the question. I'm looking at the effective date. Thank
It's
you.
October.
That is a great point, Delegate Erica, and I agree with you. It's October the 1st for implementation. So basically then this would not even, at the best, would not even occur till the beginning of next year. So I would suggest that are you making that as a friendly amendment? I mean,
can we come right back to you? Let's hear what Delegate McComas
Genevieve
says.
just gave a thumbs up to us. So if she,
okay, I think that,
thinks
thank
it's
you.
fine. Yeah.
Okay, let's hear from Delegate McComas, and we'll come back to Delegate Arcan.
All great minds think alike. I move that we make it emergency legislation as soon as possible.
Okay, well, Delegate McComas, thank you for that. We will stick with Delegate Arcan as the first, and we will go with Delegate McComas as our second on that friendly amendment. And I guess we need Senator Castley.
Move the bill as amended.
I'm sorry, did you call me?
So Charity, question. Oh, she's talking to him right now to see because we definitely need the senator to approve this, but as Delegate Lasante, which I think, so this is going to be my question to you, I'm sorry, is he there?
He's right here, but he just said, yeah, he's fine with making an emergency bill.
Okay, can he just like stick his face in and give us a thumb up?
Just tell them yes.
Yes,
Thank you.
that's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I'm preparing for a press conference in 10 minutes. Sorry
I
about
know,
that. So
we're getting
I'm
over
gonna
there
double
too.
tap.
So, okay,
Sorry.
thank you so much. All right, we do have to move along. So we have, Cindy, so
Yes.
the motion was to move the bill favorably, but we now have accepted a first and a second for a friendly amendment. So now what if we just go ahead and vote on SB 642 as amended with the friendly amendment, which the senator agrees with, move the bill. So any further question?
Were you asking me a question? You started to.
No. Yeah, well, yeah, I was going to say, could we do it without Senator Castley and do it as a friendly, and then we can move it, but he came on board.
So are you rolling them both into one vote?
Yes, rolling them into one vote because it was still during discussion. And I believe Charity, that's okay, correct?
It's preferable to vote on the amendment first and then vote on the bill as amended.
All right, well, listen, okay, we'll do council real quick. We will vote on the friendly amendment first to make it an emergency bill. So,
But you don't
Cindy?
necessarily need a roll call for the amendment, just on the
Oh,
bill.
Okay, all right,
Just
everybody
thumbs up,
agree?
down, whatever.
Okay. Any further discussion? If somebody does not agree with the amendment, just raise your hand. That would be the quickest. Okay, looks like it went unanimous. And then now we're going to vote on the bill. Okay,
Move the bill as amended.
okay,
Second.
everybody, any hands raised for opposition? I see none. That is moved. Now I'm assuming we have to make it a delegation bill? Or I don't know what on the Senate. So Charity's saying
Move
yes.
the bill as a delegation bill.
Second.
Well, the
Okay.
amendment will be sponsored by the delegation, but it's the senator's bill.
Correct.
So, right,
So-
so
so-
you won't, yeah, you would
Okay,
just
so we
sponsor the
have-
amendment, but the bill is in the, on the Senate side, so,
Right,
yeah, we won't change it to Harford County delegation as sponsorship.
right. So the only
Just on
thing
the
we're going to
amendment.
vote on is sending a letter of support. Is that
With
how
the
the
amendment.
motion should be?
Yes,
Okay, so we have a first. I see Delegate Asante. You want to make that first?
Yes.
Okay, Delegate Szeliga, she spoke up. She'll do the second. Okay, and everybody on that particular motion to have the Harford County delegation, House delegation to support the Senate bill as amended for SB 642. Okay, no questions. Everybody, if anybody disagrees, please raise your hand. And then I'm going to go to Delegate Lasanti.
I'm ready.
Okay, so it looks like its vote was unanimous. Delegate Lasanti.
I think I put my hand down. I put it up to answer your question.
Okay.
Am I up? Is my hand? No, my hand's on.
No, it's down, but I saw you put something in the chat, so I didn't know.
Oh, no, I was I meant to talk to Genevieve and I spoke to everybody.
Okay, so let me come, before we end, okay, Charity.
I have a question. Is Delegate Impalaria voting? Since we didn't do the roll call on the bill, I'm assuming he's gone. Okay. Just
Oh,
wanna make
I think
sure.
he's, well, I see he's still on. Is he here?
He wasn't on the camera though. No.
No, he wasn't on the camera, so I did
Okay.
not record him.
So do we have,
Okay.
so, and then Caroline, because Delegate Johnson is excused for today. He had a doctor's appointment. Caroline, I don't know, do we have any different, do you want me to put him as absent or does he want to stick with his no? Because he didn't really hear the bill, so I don't know.
But he did. I had him listening as well in his doctor's
Okay.
appointment. With the clarification, he's a yes on the bill.
Okay, great. Can
And the
everybody
amendment.
agree with that he can do that being? Okay,
Madam Chair, it's an amendment to a
Yeah,
Senate bill, so it's
yeah.
not really ours. It should be
Yep.
fine.
should be fine. Okay, Charity, we agree? We have 5 without him, but
I mean, the bill passes without him. He's excused.
yeah, we'll keep him. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
unfortunately.
that's
we have-
that's voting by proxy. I'm not sure that that's
Oh,
And we
yeah.
have-
permissible,
we
but
have
I can
steps.
get back to you on that.
We
Okay,
have
well, right,
6 without him, so that's
yeah, okay,
Right.
so we will keep him excused. We won't have him as a no or yes, he'll just be absent for today.
Okay.
Okay, and Genevieve?
Charity, are you going to draft the amendment or do you want me to
Yes.
draft it?
No, I'll take care of it right away.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so once that's done, you can let Senator Cassidy know. Once Charity gives us the amendment, we'll send the letter and the amendment over to ENT, and then they will set his hearing date. So thank you for coming on and filling in for your good senator. And thank you, everyone, for being here this morning. I know it was rushed, but we appreciate your time and your effort of coming on and the discussion. So
Thanks for
that,
setting this up.
okay, so do I have a motion to adjourn?
motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, and second. Thank you very much.
Wait,
Thank
wait,
you
wait, wait.
all.
I got a question. Aren't we supposed to vote? Like a roll call vote that we vote on the amendment?
We did, we just did it opposite of what we normally did. We
Alright, I
said
just
raise
wanted
of
to
hand
make
if you
sure
had
we're all
opposition. Yep,
Good, so
we
we
did.
can get out of here. Okay.
yep, we're
all right.
good. All right, thank you. All righty, bye-bye.